Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I want to get into a little conversation about something a bunch of us have been talking about lately, and that's brand loyalty. Or actually, more accurately, crazy brand loyalty. I mean, there's a bunch of guys out there constantly jumping on tweets and commenting on YouTube videos constantly about phones that are obviously having issues or pieces of electronics that are having issues or whatever, and they just refuse to admit that there's anything wrong from anything from their brand. It's a little frustrating because being a person that's been into tech for 30 years, it's hard for me to see people just so blindly follow a brand and pretend that, nothing they do could possibly be wrong. You got what we like to call Samsung Knights, iSheep, you got them all out there, and all they constantly do is defend the brand to the very end. And I'm not understanding exactly what they're getting from this. I mean, I use Samsung, I use Apple products, I use Razer products, I use all kinds of different things. And if there's something wrong with one of the products that I'm using, I'm sure as heck gonna say something, especially on this kind of a platform where somebody, maybe one or two people, might actually be looking to me for some kind of advice on what they should or should not get. So if I get a device or something that I notice there's an issue with, I'm not gonna just sit there and go, oh, well, yeah, it's great because it's Apple. That's not how it works. That's not how it works for anything in general. I mean, if you went to the store and got crappy food, you're not gonna go telling everybody it was awesome food just because it came from your favorite food store. It's not how these things work. I don't know about you, but I see this constant push on Twitter and on YouTube videos and all kinds of stuff of people just saying, oh, you're wrong, especially with the new Samsung S20 Ultra that just came out. Or, oh, well, I don't have these camera problems, so it's not a problem. Yeah, but a lot of other people do. So figure it out. I mean, Samsung's got to fix that problem, right? Just because I like Samsung products, I'm recording this on a Samsung product. Just because I like their products doesn't mean I'm not going to call them out when they do something that's not right. Now, I don't own the Ultra, I have the regular S20, so I have no idea what those camera issues are or aren't. But you can trust the people that are being honest and showing you the pictures online that they're not getting good pictures. Some of that could be user error, I get it, but not that many people could be using the camera wrong. And besides that, if it's a good camera, pretty much anybody should be able to take a good picture with it. That's just my opinion. I mean, and I'm only bringing up Samsung in this conversation just because it's the major thing that's happening right now. Apple had their issues with selfies way back. Every manufacturer has issues. Samsung just had issues, with the launch of the Fold and the phone that I'm actually recording on right now. And it's working fine now. They fixed the issues. Hopefully they'll be able to 100% fix the issues on the S20 Ultra if it's not a hardware issue. If it's a hardware issue, they're in for, a lot of returns. But fanboys and people in general that just blindly follow some other brand manufacturer like they're some kind of god or something just drives me insane. I mean, I'll call out any company on anything that I think isn't correct, anything I think they're doing wrong. I feel like too many people take that to a level that it doesn't need to go to. I mean, some of the comments are just flat out nasty. I mean, there's no reason to be nasty to somebody because they didn't have the same experience with something that you did. There's absolutely no reason for that kind of thing at all. I mean, I don't know who thinks it's okay, but it's really not okay. I see some of the comments. I have some friends on Twitter and stuff who have posted that they've had some issues with the new Galaxy S20 Ultra, and God, they're getting hammered in the comment section by the Samsung people coming out in droves just to give them a hard time. Listen, You do you, I'll do me, man. Like, if I like what I'm using, I'll tell you that. If there's issues with that thing, whether I like it or not, I'll tell you that too. I mean, you know, I haven't had any major issues with my Galaxy Fold yet, but I will sure as hell tell everybody if I come across any issues that I feel are necessary to talk about. You know, I don't like the front screen on it. I think it's a little bit too small. If it was a hair wider, it would make a big difference. I don't think the height's the issue. I think the width is the issue more than anything. I've got big hands. It's hard for me to type on that thing, which is fine because I have it open most of the time anyway. So for a quick text or whatever, I can use swipe, or I can just, you know, punch it out and autocorrect will take care of the rest, you know? So I'm not going to gripe too much about it, but I will call out stuff when I think stuff is wrong. I don't particularly like the inside camera bump on this phone. I think you lose some real estate there, and I really don't appreciate that. But I'm not just going to run out there because I happen to love this device and tell everybody, yeah, you got to buy it, it's the best. It's not the case, okay? It's not always the case. And I'll be the first one to call out a manufacturer on a defect or something I think is wrong with the product. And I think everybody should feel that way, and it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. You don't have to agree with it, but you don't have to get in the comment sections of everybody who disagrees with you and fight with them and start crap with them and tell them they're idiots and all kinds of other words I won't even use on here because they don't like something that you like, okay? Whether it's Apple, whether it's Samsung, whether it's LG, whether it's Motorola, whoever it is. Listen, I kind of feel like the Motorola Razr was a huge flop. And I think it's not a durable thing, but I don't have it in my hand. So I'm not just gonna, you know, and I happen to like Motorola products. I like their products from years ago. I think they make great stuff. And they have some pretty good ideas on their UI and their interface. They have some pretty handy things. But if I did have it in my hand and I didn't like it, I'm gonna tell you whether I like them or not. It doesn't matter to me. I don't understand, and I will never understand blind brand loyalty. Like, no matter what they put out, it's the best thing since sliced bread. That's not the case. That's not always the case. Devices have issues. Things have issues. I said a lot of this same stuff in my Galaxy Fold video way back when, because people just love to jump on bandwagons. They like to bicker and fight over things that really, at the end of the day, what are you getting from that? What are you getting from following a brand like, let's say, Samsung or Apple? Okay, now you're following them and you're defending their products and you're fighting with people on Twitter and on YouTube and you're leaving nasty comments to people who are just sharing their opinion. What are you getting from that? Apple sending you a bunch of free products for really, you know, defending them, or Samsung sending you a bunch of stuff? Nobody's doing anything for you. And quite honestly, they're all about the bottom line and the money anyway. So what makes you think they care? They don't, okay? It's about selling devices. It's about selling products. It's what all the ads are about. It's what everything they do is geared toward profit. End of story. So for you to jump in there and just want to be, you know, the defender of the brand doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Makes zero sense. And listen, you can like it, you can not like it, but it's the truth. And the biggest thing that I hate the most about all of this, and I said it before and I'll say it again, is people giving other nasty comments. Like, just the amount of nasty stuff that I see on a daily basis, the amount of just sheer anger towards someone because they have an opinion of a device from a manufacturer that you happen to like that doesn't align with your opinion. I mean, there's something wrong there, guys. Seriously. I mean, think about it. There's something wrong in your brain if you don't ever comment on that person's tweets, but then as soon as they tweet something out about Samsung, you're all over them like a dirty shirt. I mean, come on. Are you getting paid by Samsung to do this? Because it seems like a waste of time to me. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, like, something I would never do. Something I don't have time to do. If I'm on here and going forward, when I'm making review videos or whatever, if I'm talking about news, whatever I decide to talk about on my channel, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it, you know? And I'm gonna be honest, bluntly honest, about my experience with that particular device. Not your experience, not that guy's experience, mine. And that's the opinion that I'm giving from what I felt when I was using it. Has nothing to do with you. So to come and say, oh, well, we're going to attack Joe because, you know, he didn't like our Samsung device. Well, not my problem. I had a different experience than you. You're going to have to live with it. So you can write all the nasty comments in the world. You can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to sleep comfortably in my bed knowing I told the truth about my experience with that particular item. I get tired, honestly, of seeing negativity constantly over a brand. I mean, you guys got to be kidding me. Seriously. It's beyond me why someone would choose to go after somebody on the internet who they don't even know because of their opinion on something. Everything's an opinion. Any review you see, I don't care if it's MKBHD, it's Unbox Therapy, whoever it is, whoever is reviewing that device, it's their opinion. Whether they've been doing it, I've been doing tech for 30 years, man. Like I had computers since the Commodore 64. And anything I've owned, it's my opinion. Whether I know a lot about tech or not, I know a tremendous amount. Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, it's my experience with that device. It's none of your concern. If you want to listen to my opinion on it, that's perfectly fine. I'm happy to give it to you and you can take it for what it's worth. Because this is how I interacted with it. This is how I felt about it. But to attack someone just because their opinion is different than yours is ludicrous, honestly. You guys need to get it together. The fanboy stuff needs to relax a little bit because, my God, like, chill out, man. It's tech. There's going to be problems with new tech all the time, especially at the rate that they're pushing out devices right now. They're pushing out a device every single year. That leaves devices you're getting right now, they started development 3 years ago, for the most part. You know, like, they're getting them out so fast that the quicker these come and the less R&D and the less quality checks that can get done because the time frame is shorter. The shorter the time frame here, the shorter amount of time in between releases and all that kind of stuff is what's driving the errors. There's not as much time for quality checks. There's not as much time as there used to be to make sure something was great before they send it out. So as we all know, and as we've all learned over the past 6-7 years, is that we're the beta testers. Okay, so every device from every manufacturer on release is going to have some type of issue. And if anybody knows of any device that came out in the past 2 or 3 years that didn't have an issue on release, some kind of issue, software, hardware, something, please leave it down in the comments because I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be too many comments on that. Everything has issues. Not all manufacturers are perfect. The speed of manufacturing is making quality control lower. Okay, they're not doing as good of a job at that. They're not making sure it's ready for the consumer. They're just looking to get it out before everybody else. And once you guys all understand that, and that all these brands are basically the same thing, Apple's the same as Samsung, is the same as every other manufacturer. They're trying to sell you a device. Very simple. They're trying to sell you on their product. So they're going to come out with these huge things like 100 times zoom. 100 times zoom looks horrendous. Honestly, I've seen impressionist paintings that are clearer. So it's not about brand. It's about consumers. And consumers right now are beta testers. That's what we are. That's what we've become. Because we want bigger, better, faster, tomorrow. We don't want to wait for it. We want it next release. We want everything tomorrow. So it's not really even the manufacturer's fault. It's the consumer's fault because they're expecting too much of a big difference year to year. You can't do that. I mean, there's a reason why for years, every different phone that came out, there was a slight iteration. The camera was a little bit better. The UI was a little bit better. Something was a little bit better. Now they're looking for huge leaps and bounds on every single device. It's not always going to happen. Okay? And once you guys get that in your head, and once you guys understand that brand loyalty gets you nowhere, all it does is make enemies for no reason. People that you could maybe have a good conversation with about tech in general, but your brand loyalty has you blind. It has you blind to how everything's going out there. Okay? It's sad to see it. I don't like to see those nasty comments and stuff. And honestly, I'll block people who do that because I don't have time to interact with negative people. So anyway, didn't mean to get off on a rant, but that's going to be about it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you think about all this stuff that goes on and the brand loyalists and all that. Please leave a comment down below for me, okay? Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, please like and subscribe down below. Thank you.